Who is Abu Bakr? Well, if you are Muslim, then you must have heard this name because he's a very important figure in Islam. But if you are not Muslim, I am sure you have never heard about him.
But still, there are chances that you may have heard about one of his deeds. Have you ever heard about the night of Miraj?
If yes, then you would know what an important person he was. But for those who don't know, let me tell you it was on this night that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, traveled to Kaaba in Makkah from Masjid an-Nabawi in Medina, covering a distance of 500 miles in less than an hour. He was accompanied by Abu Bakr, who was the first man to become Muslim after Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the life of Abu Bakr, the first companion of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them both. Let's begin. Abu Bakr was born in the year 573 CE in Mecca. His father, Abu Quafa, was a leader of one of the most powerful tribes of Mecca, and his mother, Salma, belonged to a different tribe. From his mother's side, he was related to two other companions of the Prophet, Hamza and Abbas. May Allah be pleased with them. When Abu Bakr was still just 2 years old, his father passed away and his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, raised him with great care. Along with his uncle, Abu Lahab, who was the brother of Abdul Muttalib, they played a huge role in shaping his early life. But unfortunately, Abu Lahab didn't turn out to be a good person. Instead, he became an enemy of Islam, which made Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, curse him and his family to be cursed forever. We will discuss more about him in another episode, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, coming back to Abu Bakr, he had a twin brother named Abid al-Malik, who died very young, and a full sister named Asma bint Abu Bakr, who later married his uncle Abu Bakr's son, whom they called Zubair. So that makes Zubair her cousin as well. Abu Bakr grew up as a successful merchant due to his honesty and trustworthiness. These qualities earned him the nickname Al-Siddiq, which means the truthful. He used to do business in Syria, Iraq, and Yemen, and always returned from these trips with big profits. Once while he was on a journey to Syria with his goods, he met a monk who invited him to his monastery. Abu Bakr accepted the invitation and asked the monk to take all of his provisions and sell them in exchange for bread so that they could share it among themselves. The monk refused at first, but when Abu Bakr insisted, the monk agreed to the deal. The next day, when they opened the boxes, they found that the provisions had turned into gold. Both Abu Bakr and the monk were astonished. Then the monk told Abu Bakr that he was actually a Christian who had a lot of faith in Jesus, peace be upon him, and that Jesus had sent him to test Abu Bakr's iman or faith. After passing this test, Abu Bakr returned to Mecca with his wealth and continued his trade. Before Islam, he used to participate in the Jahiliyyah tribal wars, but after embracing Islam, he gave up fighting and told everyone he met that there was no God but Allah. Soon, his fellow tribesmen started calling him the Old Man of Islam. Despite being mocked at for leaving the traditions of his people, he never went back to his former ways. Instead, he remained steadfast on the path of Islam until his death. It was during this time that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was busy spreading the message of Islam in Mecca, even though Abu Bakr supported him and helped the Muslims. In any way he could, openly showing such support could get them killed. That is why they had to hide their iman. This period came to be known as the period of hardship or as the Silsil al-Arbin. However, when the Muslims were tortured severely, Abu Bakr offered his home for them to seek refuge and would feed the hungry and those who needed help. Moreover, he was also the first person who financially supported the Muslims, especially when they migrated to Medina. In fact, when the Prophet decided to migrate to Medina, Abu Bakr was the only person who could afford to accompany him on that journey, as he had enough wealth to pay for the expenses. Not only that, he was also the one who proposed that Usman ibn Affan should be appointed as the third man to succeed the Prophet, peace be upon them. And this prediction of Abu Bakr proved to be true. When the Prophet passed away, Usman became the third Khalifa after Abu Bakr and Umar. After the migration to Medina, Abu Bakr and the Prophet built the first mosque together. During the Battle of Badr, he was the one who carried the banner of the Muslims and fought against the disbelievers, even though he wasn't a warrior like Hamza, but rather a businessman. May Allah be pleased with him. He was also present at the Battle of Uhud, where he fought bravely, although he was injured. He was also involved in many other battles, but he wanted to retire from fighting in the last battle he participated in, the Battle of the Trench. So he handed over his weapons to his son-in-law, the Prophet's cousin, Ali, and stayed behind to tend to the wounded. Once during the battle, he saw some women laughing and having fun, and he rebuked them for that. Similarly, when some people celebrated the death of a Muslim warrior thinking it was a victory for the Muslims, he reprimanded them for that as well. These incidents show how he maintained piety even during difficult times. He was also the one who led the first delegation of Muslims to make an alliance with the people of Khaybar. Later, when the treaty was broken and the Muslims attacked the Jewish fortresses, he again led a group of Muslims to fight against the Jews. He captured the fortress of Al-Urd, and when he entered the city, he allowed the people to leave with their lives and possessions, sparing them from harm. Likewise, he demonstrated mercy towards the people of Khaybar by giving them the same option. Aside from being a great warrior, he was also a great administrator. When he became the Khalifa, he faced many challenges, such as managing the affairs of the rapidly expanding Muslim state and dealing with rebellions from different directions. Despite these difficulties, he successfully expanded the Muslim territory from the Mediterranean Sea in the west to the borders of Persia in the east and from Iraq in the north to the Arabian Peninsula in the south. Moreover, he made significant contributions to the development of Islamic law, appointing committees to collect and compile the Sunnah of the Prophet, peace be upon him, which later became the foundation of Islamic jurisprudence. During his Khalifah, he also appointed the first governor of a non-Arab Muslim province. He sent Muawiyah, who was a governor of Syria, to conquer the city of Emesa in 635 AD. By 638 AD, he had conquered all of Levant. At that time, Abu Bakr was almost 70 years old. Unfortunately, he didn't live to see the conquest of Iran and Iraq because he passed away in the year 634 AD at the age of 62. The cause of his death is not mentioned in the authentic sources, but some reports suggest that he contracted a fever while on a campaign and died as a result. He was buried in the Al-Baqi, which is a cemetery located in Medina. Although Abu Bakr had no children, the Prophet, peace be upon him, appointed his daughter Asma to lead the prayers in the mosque in his absence. She was considered to be one of the 4 women with the most extensive knowledge of Islam, along with her mother Aisha, Hafsa, and Juwayriya. Abu Bakr's legacy lived on through his wife, who was the daughter of Abu Muttalib, and his daughter, who were both revered figures in Islam. I think that's enough for today. I hope you liked this episode. If you want to support us in making more quality content, please consider donating through the link in the description. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can be notified every time we upload a new video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.